Hello, everybody. Put on this because my hair is fried. This is the first live that I've been able to do since I got my new power supply yesterday. So, and my hair is all freaking tangled. So, but a lot has happened since I last did a live on here about a month ago, I guess it was. This past Thanksgiving this year, my youngest Rupert was staying with us for about a month and a half, roughly. We got him on the 28th of, November. He didn't go home until January 20th. He tried to make it work, but it just wasn't. But my son was in a dire situation where he was in a shelter in Cleveland, Ohio, and I was feared for his life. And I did the only thing I could think to do is get him here. Now, for a long time, I was casting magic and spells and stuff, saying, I wish my son would come home. But after roughly about the first week, maybe, things just started going horribly wrong. We were fighting a lot. The stress levels were really high, and I couldn't take it. I had several miniature breakdowns that really took their toll on me. But, I soldiered through it and finally got people to understand. I love my son dearly, but he's got to go. So he moved in with his brother somewhere in Mansfield. That's all I know. I don't have an address, location, none of that. And at this point, for his safety, I don't want one. Because if I know it, I don't want to accidentally say it on here. And then his bio sperm donor, he doesn't even call the guy dad, which I'm glad he doesn't, because his bio dad is a POS. He's a piece of SHIT. He's told our son several times to kill himself. And now he's making threats on my son's current girlfriend and her kid. So he turns to me like I can do something about it. And I explained to him, son, I don't know what to tell you. I can merely suggest this. If you want him to leave you alone, block his number, get a hold of the Mansfield cops, even get a hold of the cops of the city and state that he resides if you can find out where that is. Tell them that he's making death threats against you, against your loved ones, your girlfriend, her kid, and you want it stopped. You want to file harassment charges on him, and you want to see about getting a restraining order against him so he can't come within 50 feet of our son or anybody our son is with. But I also explained to my son, I cannot handle the stress of this, so please stop asking for my help when I have none to give. Turn him into the cops. Give him his name. Explain what's going on. Let them handle it. And if you don't feel like they're handling it, keep bugging them until they do. And tell them, I'm not going away until you do something about this, because this man is making death threats against me and my family, and I want it to stop. That's the only recourse my son has at this point. And I hope he does it. I really do. For his own safety, I hope he does it, because death threats are not anything to sneeze at, joke about. Just getting some baby wipes. Got my witchy stickers here. There we go. See, nice and sealed, like it should be. No drips. But the minute I do this, sometimes these things want to fight you. All you're trying to do is get the darn thing off, you know? But then I have lotion on my hands too. And that definitely don't help. Well, maybe I'll get this thing off of here. More than one way to do this. Okay, let me get the right thing here. Well, that's just great. We just pulled the first one off. But now it's fighting me. Handy things to have. Especially as messy as things can get around here. I am wiping off my checks, and I might as well wipe this off too. Just gotta remind myself there's one in there that can still be used. Okay. This is an old checkbook. Don't have the account anymore, so there's no way that anybody can use it against me. But I still like to witchify it. But of course, the stickers like to fight with me. And they don't like to peel off very easily, so I have to toy with it. And I wish that these were easier to peel, but they're not. I usually take several attempts to get this peeled down enough so that I can get a hold of it. And peel it off. I hate when stuff likes to fight me. Why do things have to be so hard? Do I have it? Please. Come on, damn it. Come on. Why these things insist on fighting me. But since this account is no more, I use these as magic checks. So when I need a certain amount for something, I write myself a magic check. And usually come on. Come on, you can do it. stop fighting me? Oh, crap. Just realized I need the handy wipe again. Because I didn't get this side. And the reason why I do that is because so it doesn't, the sticker's not sticking to dirt particles. Has a nice clean surface to stick to. So see? Front, back. It's got some kind of bird on it. I don't know what kind of bird, but so the front of it is the sun. The back of it is the pentacle. So I try to utilize the use of this thing as much as possible, wiping off other surfaces. Keep my phone clean, because you know how smudged the screen gets. But these, they're Tinkerbell checks. See? But like I said, this account's closed. It's been closed for a while. Like, the last time I even made an entry in here was 10/5. Wow. So 2005. And they don't give you very many of these anyway. There was there's starter checks. And, you know, places don't like starter checks. You try to use a starter check somewhere and people really don't like it. These are deposit slips, but they're irrelevant as well because the account no longer exists. So I need to put those away somewhere. Just when I think I got them all out. Any others? Eight, 3. Oh my. That was the last time I made an entry in here, and it was I was paying $375 a month for rent then. Wish I was still only paying $375 a month, because I'll tell you, cost of living's gone up. Stuff is more and more expensive to acquire. Even necessities like, you know, household items, toilet paper. Let me move this over here somewhere. Just rearranging a little bit because I don't like the glare. Coming through behind me there. because I don't like being whitewashed. And I'm just gently wiping off my keys. Because they get all dusty. But I am definitely glad to have my 2-in-1 back. I just wish I could still use these, but I really can't. I even have a seriously old phone number on here that hasn't been my number for many years. So I would literally have to cross out that phone number and put my current one like above my name or something. I'm just looking at the pictures. Go back to that one. Okay. I hope one day to have a checking account again, but I don't anticipate that that's going to be anytime soon because I've already got a checking account. And a savings, but it's just not through PNC. I have some packages coming in the next few days that I'm most anxious to get, especially one in particular, and that is Mitolin weight loss supplement, dietary, It's supposed to be really good, and it's the most recent out there on the market. So I got 2 bottles coming, and I cannot wait for it to get here so I can start using it. So I've got a 2-month supply coming. I hope it's the one. I hope it's the one that works, and I finally start dropping this weight and be able to keep it off. Some of my new gadgets, gizmos, and toys. This is a self-piercing gun. It's got the earring in place and the back. You just line it up wherever you want the hole. And, Now, granted, it's still going to hurt, because best thing, if you can do it, if you have it, which I don't, sadly, would be to numb it. Now, it comes with a little alcohol pad, so you can wipe the surface of your ear off. These are, you get 2 of them. They come in their own individual little thing, and you just, see how easy that bends? You just line it up, and you got to do it hard and quick. And it's got, supposedly, it comes with like 6 different pairs of earrings. So I'm not sure if I'll do this today or not, because about noon I'm going to be going over to my mom's. But hopefully comes with more than one pair. So, because that's the way they make it look like, at least on the picture was. Because each one is already set up in the little gun. You just, and you got another ear piercing. And this puts the back on it and everything. It has the little nudges in it, little notches. So that holds it on while your ear's getting used to having a hole there again. But to keep it sanitary and safe and everything, disposable ear piercing units. So, me being who I am, though, I am going to get as much use out of one of these as I can because I only got 2. Here's another. And it comes with a little baggie of rubber earring backs. So you can put those on when your ear has had enough time to get used to, because this is where you got to turn it, a couple times a day. And when you turn it, try to take a Q-tip, dip it in some alcohol if you have it, or I have the ear piercing stuff, the liquid, dip it in that, and then run it around the ear on both sides, and move the earring out of the way so you can get that stuff down in there to keep infection down. Last time I had multiple ear piercings, it was 4 on each side. So, including the bottom one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could wear a total of 8 earrings at one time. I could mismatch them if I wanted. I could wear ones that did match. There's so many variables as to what you can do. So I saw these little disposable ear piercing units, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get them. Why not? Give them a try. But this time I think I'm just going to stick with 3 on each side. The bottom ones, which are already there, 1 slightly above that, and then 1 slightly above that. But I'm going to try not to get it in the cartilage if I can, because I had it in the cartilage up here before, and the left side is always the side that seems to give me the trouble, and that's where the infection seems to, it'll start hurting. So it's like, yeah, I don't think I want to do the cartilage this time if I can help it. So I would have to have a pair of earrings in the actual holes that are already there, and then line it up to do a hole above that and then a hole above that. So I've only got 3 on each side. That way, when I'm feeling adventurous and want to be different, wear like post earrings. Sometimes I'll be just wearing post earrings. Sometimes I'll be wearing dangles. Sometimes I'll have a post in this side and a dangle in this side, just to have fun with it and see what new different types of looks and everything I come up with. But I have definitely been enjoying myself as far as my witchy stickers. I'm putting them like all over a lot of stuff. But that's part of the fun of having them, is finding places to put them, Like I have my cabinet over here in front of me that I would really like to clean it up before I start putting stickers on it, because the original symbols I wrote on it, I did with, was it nail polish? I think it was either nail polish or Sharpie or something, but it looks really crappy. And I finally decided to use this particular cabinet for a bookshelf because it has several shelves inside. It has a door that closes. And my nose is running. Great. But the magnet broke off of it like a long time ago. So me being the innovative genius that I am, I crocheted a nice long chain. I taped it to the back with a piece of tape, like duct tape or something that I think is going to hold the strongest. And then pull it around to the front and literally tie it shut. The only problem with that is because we have cats, I'm going to have to tape the ends in place so they don't dangle and move and stuff like that, because that's what will cause cats to attack. They're thinking it's dangly and it's moving, I'm going to attack it. It's time to play, and I don't want them tearing it off there at every turn. Oh. And considering I've been up since, I want to say 9, I think it was like 8:30 when I saw the clock in the bedroom, but by the time I came out here and got me some breakfast and all that, it was like 9:15 or something. So 8, 9, 10, going on 4 hours I've been up already. And I'm going back over to my mom's today, so she's don't have to be over there by herself. Because today is going to be a day where, Jim's going to be out running and doing goddess knows what. And he's probably going to be gone all day, because that seems to be his favorite thing to do. Is as soon as he gets up in the morning, sometimes he'll make her breakfast, sometimes he won't. He'll just get himself ready and out the door he goes. It's like, gee, that's really nice, Jim. You couldn't stop to see if maybe, I don't know, I wanted to go somewhere. I mean, seriously. I'm looking around here, and I'm trying to find something that I can put up behind me to get that glare gone. Well, I suppose I could do this to start. Oh, looky, I got me a nice, I've never seen one this big. That's a fill-it-in book. And look at that thing. It's the size of a coloring book. Now these are nice. Laundry detergent sheets. Got enough sheets in here to do 100 loads. And the sheets aren't that big. So let's see if this will be enough. My Cappy bag here. Not quite. See, even doing that, it's not big enough. Because if I do something like put up a blanket or something, the cats will have it destroyed. So I'm trying to cut the glare out as much as I can. Not sure. Oh, well, in conclusion about the whole Noah matter, my youngest, it's unfortunate that he wasn't able to stay. But at least I did have some time with him, which is all I asked for. It's all I ever wanted. And I got it. But I just hate that it went so wrong. But the silver lining to that cloud of endless rain falling upon my head to the point of driving me insane, because the water, after a while, it starts feeling like it weighs a ton, like somebody's literally sticking some kind of a spike through your top of your skull. Not a very good feeling. I was able to, we were able to part on good terms. He apologized to me. He said, Mom, he said, I'm sorry that we keep fighting and stuff. And I said, I'm sorry too, honey. I said, I'm really sorry that this didn't work out. I wish it would have. But it didn't. So the best we can hope to arrive at this point is forgive the situation, forgive each other and ourselves where we were at fault, and just move on from here. So that's what we did. He hugged me goodbye and said, love you, Mom. I said, love you too, sweetie. I said, get your life together. Get yourself together. Get yourself some stability and structure. Get yourself a nice, steady job. Stick with it. Keep doing your counseling so that hopefully at least one of us in the family can learn to manage our anger. Because angry outbursts are not a fun situation. And I go through them a lot with Chris because of his level and degree of autism himself, even though he's highly functional and he's a grown man, so you can have intelligent conversations with him, this and that. They're prone to angry outbursts. And those angry outbursts can be very verbally bashing and abusive, which is no good for anybody. Because if we're truly going to make it as a couple, we need to work on these issues and we need to do it right. Forgive me, fire, I mean no insult. Part of doing it right is me, for instance, taking it upon myself to learn what it's like to not only have a child or children, if you have more than one, that are autistic and ADHD, but your adult partner that also has at least one of those. And in this case with Chris, it's autism. Chris has been battling this whole cancer thing, and he's going to his treatments Monday through Friday, doing everything he's supposed to do. We've had a couple scares along the way where he had to go in a couple times in a short span of time, a matter of days, because his oxygen levels were dropping too low. And it was dangerous low. So got a lot of phlegm in my throat for some reason. And my beautiful female beta that I had, that I named Sedna after the goddess Sedna, she died. And I'm still kind of sad about that too. But until I get rent paid and any other, like cash items for the house and stuff like that, I honestly don't know at this point how much I'm going to have left of my money. But if I have enough, and I'm hoping I will, I would like to go to the pet store and get me another female beta. And I would like to get me a nice little 3-gallon, at least 3-gallon. I would prefer 5, but what seemed to be the most readily available is you do 3-gallon, 2-gallon, stuff like that. Because betas, I don't think they need a lot of room. But if you can eventually give them a bigger tank, great. But this time, I'm going to get another beta tank to match the one I have, but with a different lid, and find the way it fits together, because they have these cute beta tanks. Let's see if I can get it back here. See the puzzle piece shape? This is a little beta tank. And for a beta, that gives them plenty of room. Got area over here to swim about. There's vents in the top. There's this little spot here so you can sprinkle the food down in. And this is usually used as a holding tank for when Chris is cleaning the tank, the fish tank. I want to get another one like this, but I want it to fit into this one, and I want the lid to be blue. And until I can get a nesting box in place, okay. When I get the betas, I'm going to get a male and I'm going to get a female. I'm going to make sure that they're very, very pretty, that they have some beautiful colors that will make some beautiful babies. But I'm not going to physically allow them to be together until I can get a nesting box that's going to fit on the back of here, this section, without taking up too much room in the tank. Yeah, it should be fine. Just wiping the inside of the lid too. All cruddy looking. And it'll dry. It'll be dry long before probably I get my next batch of betas. So it shouldn't harm nothing. Giving us a nice, clean, thorough job. Because I'm not going to be putting fish in there right away, so I don't have to worry about it, the residue from this being in the water and killing the fish. Because of the limited available space that we have here in this apartment also, that's why I'm trying to go with something small. But I have found some cute ones. It's just having the money to get them. Uh, 5-gallon fish tank kits. Here we go. Now let's see if we can find an inexpensive. That's a cute one. 3-gallon fish tank aquarium starter kit includes power filter, LED light with 5-volt power supply. And it's only $44.99. So that's not a bad one to give a try. Doesn't look like it'll take up a lot of room. And it's cheaper than some of the other ones I've seen as I'm scrolling through here. Oh, now that's pretty. Acrylic 4-gallon aquarium with white LED lights. Now that's pretty. But it's probably going to be among the most expensive. Oh, here's a pretty blue one. And it's slightly less. Than what I was just looking at. So I will put that one in my wish list. Ooh, here's one for $37.99. 2-gallon glass aquarium, small fish tank with filter and plant light, beta, shrimp, guppy, jellyfish starter kit, self-cleaning tank, ultra quiet. There's another. So see, that's, a couple good examples right there. But again, not sure how long before I can actually get one, because meanwhile, if the cheapest route to go is going to be getting another one like the one I just cleaned, for now, make sure the two fit together. Put the male in one, put the female in the other. So most likely I'll put the female in the blue one with the blue lid, and I'll put the male with the red lid. Because those weren't, I don't think, that much. And I think it's kind of cute that they fit together as puzzle pieces, because then you can make a very unique tank that way. And it don't take up a whole lot of room. So still haven't got any of my diamond paintings sold, which that's hurting me because I could really use the money. And I still haven't gotten down to the basement to dig up my resin pieces, get them up here so I can show them and let people know these are for sale too. And I'm toying around with the idea of, depending on how many wands I have left, especially wands of the same shape, I'm thinking about taking some of them, taking the flat sides and gluing them together. But the only problem about doing something like that is I would have to let people know. Now, I only used like a couple of little dots of Loctite glue to glue these two pieces together. So be very careful with it. Don't try to pry it apart, because if you do, you're going to ruin your piece. So depending on how many I have left, I might take a couple of them and glue them together, and then have the rest with their flat side, and see the percentage of people that gravitate towards one or the other. Like, if people seem to like the ones that you glue together better, because that's, more 2-dimensional, at least 3-dimensional or whatever. Then then I'll do them that way. Once I get each one completely done, and the resin has set, I've got all the colors in place, I've got any herbs or crystal bits that I mean to put in there are nicely in place, and then glue them together. So yeah, there's a lot to think about, a lot to play around with, that I will definitely have fun with all this. The only problem is my table that I'm setting my unit on here right now. I would have to clear everything completely off of it to make the whole surface of this table clear, put a trash bag over it, tape the trash bag in place, hopefully make sure that it doesn't come off before I want it to, and do see if I can do like, if there's enough surface area to do one of each of every resin mold I have. Now, my most recent one, I'm definitely getting anxious to find resin and stuff to get this one together, is this. It's a skull and a snake, but it has this flat section in the top, and as you can see, it's silicone, stretches. So you fill that with resin and your pretty mica colors, powder and oils, then you have yourself a nice candle holder. The only problem is, from what I have been able to surmise, okay, this flat piece is not supposed to come off. So when you cast this in resin, you have to find a unique way to be able to use the top of it, put something on the surface that will keep this from melting. Or you could let it melt it down a bit to where you'd be able to fit the candle in there just fine. But then when it gets down to where there's about that much left, blow it out, pluck it off of there, clean off the candle holder, and then let it melt down the rest of the way on something else. That way you're not ruining your piece and melting a hole in the top of it, and then it looks like crap, When I first saw this on Temu, I thought it was an already assembled candle holder that was coming, and then this came, and I'm like, what the? Then I thought, oh, okay, let's make some candle holders. Why not? Maybe they'll sell like hotcakes. Who knows? The only problem is I've only got the one mold right now, so I would have to go back into Temu at some point, probably next month or something with my next check, and get a couple different other molds, because they only had I think 4. Be back, gotta go to the loo. Shit. Anyway, so right now I have to get creative. Yeah, that's easier said than done. Find something that's, oh, I know. Let me get some fake honey shit.
What are you knocking up?
It's a little bit better, but not enough, really. Because what I really need is something that I can put up in front of the window. So I thought I would at least try my unicorn pillow here because that blocks out some of it, but not where I really want it blocked. Now, one possibility, and probably the greatest possibility right now, of something I could put up there, but I won't, because I'm afraid as soon as I do, if I move the wrong way, it's either going to fall down behind the couch, which could damage it, or it's going to fall down and hit me in the back, across my shoulders or something, and cause me some hefty bruising. However, if I could get my backdrop out and find a way to fasten it up, but I would have to fold it over and just basically set it on a nail that's way up there and hope that that would be enough, because I don't need the whole window right now. That would require some nails that I don't even know what kind of nails we have available right now to do it. So my unicorn pillow there. Let me see if I can get something to work. Okay. This is what this looks like. It's two giant green cat eyes on spooky looking windows with cobwebs on them. Never opened it. Opening it now. I just hope I can get it to work. Well, that's interesting. I did not expect this. Okay. This is one of them. It's actually two panels. This is one. See the window and the eye looking through? Actually, the eye is way down here. Check it out. There's the eye. Now, it comes with stretchy Velcro straps. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8, looks like there's 8 straps. So basically, these are 2 curtain panels, and each one has an eye on it. I thought it was one big unit, one big piece. So that's very interesting. And the material it's made from, I didn't expect either. Not that it's bad, because it's not. So let's see. Well, I know what the straps are for. They're to put through it and strap it onto a 4 for each side. A stand that's specially made. Let's see what I can do here. Put the straps on top of the keyboard. The main thing is I just want something that I can hang up to block that damn glare. The only problem is I'm going to have to get a piece of tape to tape up the one side. So you won't see it the way it's meant to be. Ow! Yeah, that's a little better. Of course, if I put this one on over top of that one, though, then it would be even darker. But that's a lot better than it was. So, sorry you can't see it the way it's meant to be, but until I can get me a way to attach it, I have to work with what I have. But these have kind of a, when the sunlight hits through it, it makes it sheer, as you can see, sheer looking in the back. So it's better than it was, because the other thing I was possibly going to try is my picture of Jim Morrison. And I mean, it's big. Now, if I could position that just right, in the back of me, to where his face would be slightly to the side so you could see his face clearly, and then you could see mine. That's what I would do. But again, the risk of it falling down is too great. And I don't want it falling on somebody, and especially me. And then I have injured myself because I put something up there that just my regular body movements would not allow to stay in place. Yeah. I can still put my unicorn up there, so something else to look at. But since there's nobody on, guess I'm going to do my dailies, and it's 15 after 11, so in about an hour I'm going to be probably getting ready to go to my mom's. Because I promised her I would come over there today. and keep her company so she's not there by herself. I just wish she would let me treat it as a work day where I could walk out with $20 in my pocket. So, I mean, yeah, Jim did come through yesterday with the 25 for scrubbing the trash can, which I greatly appreciate. But I have to make that 25 last as long as I can, because right now that's like all the pocket money I have. So I'm doing things slightly different today. And I only say that because I usually do it in a certain order, but it doesn't hurt to change it up once in a while, you know? What dragon is with me today, and what is your message? The healer. The healer. I don't know how well you guys can see him, but he's a pretty green dragon. And let's see what the healer has to say. First, I gotta find where he's at. The healer. He's a guardian dragon. And he's on page 120. There he is. This gentle yet powerful dragon is a true guardian of all healers on earth, like me. He connects particularly with those who work energetically, which I can always use more energy. He reminds us that although we may walk our talk, we also need to heed our own advice. We are not a bottomless pit of energy and need to take time out now and again. His message is, I am the guardian of the healers. You are capable of great things on earth as a healer and as a light for others to follow. But to do this, you must burn brightly and throw light into the shadows of your world, which I try to do every day anyway. You give a great deal to others. Yes, I do. But you must also make time for yourself. That's what I need to keep working on, because I still don't do that enough. You need to rest and recharge. Absolutely. Your energy tank requires refilling, lest you become depleted. And I deplete myself a lot. Make time to meditate. Still haven't been able to do that. Rejuvenate, to relax, and above all, to laugh. You may love your work, but it does not define you. You also need time to be you. A wife, husband, mother, father, daughter, son, sister, or brother, or any other role you fulfill. He reminds us not to take ourselves or life too seriously. If we do, we risk forgetting that we are just one tiny cog in the great wheel of life. Very true. Usually on here, I will do like a dragon for myself, and then I'll do a dragon for anybody else. But today, I'm not going to do that because I'm running out of time. It's like 20 after 11. And like I said, about noon, I'm going to be heading over to my mom's anyways. Okay. Thank you, Healer Dragon. Next up, Green Oracle. And again, these are all positive decks. You won't find anything negative in these decks. And that's what I like about them. All positive, no negative. Waking up the deck. That's why I tap it 3 times. What does the Green Oracle have for me today? And what is your message? Sustainability. Now, this is funny because I knew the card that I was going to draw before I drew it. Oh, boy, don't you love it when that happens? Certainly makes life interesting. And that is card 30. So we got sustainability. A couple people at a market, like a street market. Here we go. Sustainability. Concept, the product of ecology, economics, and culture. Image, the happy and colorful street of a traditional market selling fruits and vegetables. The concept of sustainability is a fascinating one, but a difficult one. It is about the interaction of ecology, economics, and culture, and about the role that humans and human society can have in the world. Like in a relationship between 2 humans, there is never a clear solution. Either the couple wins or the couple, as a couple, loses. It's the same with sustainability. Human culture and economics are not necessarily enemies to nature, but it may be difficult and require a lot of hard work to make them be together. Divinational meaning. Some things are complex. If you make them simple, you ruin them. You cannot see one aspect of the problem, ignoring the others. Right and wrong sometimes are just useless. It can be difficult to find balance, but it's possible. Greed is the enemy of harmony. And that is very true on all accounts, because the world, sadly, nowadays is so full of greed and malice and bad stuff that it's just sickening. Next up, affirmations. Again, only positive. You don't get any negative cards in these decks. It's just meant to, basically, you're training yourself on a day-by-day schedule, routine, whatever you want to call it, of doing an affirmation, which is a positive thing you say about yourself for the day or whatever. I take it you're laying down? Okay. By saying them out loud, you acknowledge them and also activate them. Don't ask me why or how. That's just the way it is, because that's the way it explains it when it explains how to use these cards. What is my affirmation for today? It's an interesting one. Spontaneity. Spontaneity. Okay. Be more spontaneous. I can appreciate that, I guess. Do you like spontaneous adventures of the highest caliber? Sure. The only acceptable answer to this question is yes. So buckle up, Charlie. You're about to take a wild ride through the unexplored, unconventional, and underrated. You're about to learn that yes is a magic word with the power to unlock new dimensions in space, time, and after-hours hangouts. Yes will lead you to experiences you didn't think possible and teach you that lifelong friendships are sometimes lurking just behind a karaoke singer's mullet. There's a pretty good chance that your name is not Charlie. So, spontaneity, that's a bonus card. And when you get a card like that in this deck, it's like there's something extra special about it or something or another. So, it's like okie dokie. Next up, fairies. Fairy blessing cards. Last time I did one of these, I got Bridget's Flame. A blessing of Bridget's Flame is pretty cool. That's this one. Blessing of Bridget's Flame. And I'm not going to show her that clearly because it's irrelevant, because I'm about to shuffle these and see what fairy comes through for me today. But this deck is big, so it's difficult to shuffle. because they're so big. It's, you can do it, just a little tricky sometimes. Okay. What fairy is with me today, and what is your message? A blessing of a healing. Okay. Healing's always good. Card number 36. So, a blessing of healing. Oops. Oh, crap. What did I do? Got my foot caught up in the... Don't want to tear up my power supply. I just got it yesterday. 36. Let me find fairy 36. She's going to be way back here. There we go. A blessing of healing. The fairy gift of situation or condition being healed in a beautiful way. Yes, please. To you now is offered the immense fairy gift of healing. Fairies heal. They tend to and care for the wounded parts of human hearts and bodies and minds. They care for animals who are unwell and delicate, and they tend the plant world and the allies of the elemental realm. Fairies and their gift of healing is yours now. Thank you. Bring to them your hurts, concerns, and sorrows. They will help to heal you by sending you sweet, intense charges of energy. Yes, please. And thank you. They will heal you by bringing to you the plants and the animals and the natural spaces and places that can bring you to a better state. Sign me up. There is no obligation with this energy. It is pure and safe and fresh as spring water or wild strawberries. Let their light now shine upon you and move to whatever part of you is in most need of comfort and strength. Like right now, a lot of it for me is weight loss. Let the old hurts or pains and challenges be offered the gift of fairy help and healing. Let whatever load it is you have carried be lightened with their touch. Yes, please. Let there be harmony within your form. Yes, please. Let the healing energy that moves through all the natural world and is concentrated in abundance within the fairies and their medicine move to you, through you, leaving you relieved, soothed, healed, and replenished. Yes, please. Let hurts fade away and let hope and healing rise again. The fairies are there to assist you, friend. Let the fairy gift of healing be yours this day. Thank you. I welcome it. Because you can never have too much healing, in my opinion. It's a messed up world we're in, guys. Got to find healthier, safer ways to get through it, without hurting somebody in return, in the process, rather. Next up, Spell a Day, book number 1. All right, we are now in February 1st, day before Imbolc. Interesting. Prosperity spell for children. To bless a child with long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity. When a child loses its first teeth, place them in a small, clear, gold-tinted bottle. Along with the tiny teeth, place in the bottle a few rose petals, some angelica and orris root, several cloves and a cinnamon stick, some rue and vervain, and a piece of gold and a piece of silver. The gold and silver need not be fancy. Even a small earring will do. Put each of the child's first teeth in the bottle until you have collected them all. Then blow some of your breath into the bottle and say, long life, good health, happiness, prosperity, and love. Seal the bottle with red wax. So that's nice. I like that. And if I read that a little too fast, you can always go back, rewatch, freeze it as you need, and then write it down if you want to write these down and do them. That's kind of why I do them, so that maybe it'll help you have a more magical day and a positive day in every way. Huh. In this book of Spell a Day, February 1st, which is today, Imbolc Eve, because tomorrow is Imbolc, and it's also Groundhog Day. In Celtic times, the day was considered to begin at dusk, the preceding night, so all major celebrations would commence the night before the day of the festival, much as New Year festivities start on its eve. Also called Imbolc, Omelk, and Candlemas, this is the festival of Bride or Bridget. It celebrates the goddess's transformation from crone to maiden and heralds the coming spring and the change from the dark to light. One of the ways to celebrate this is with a circle of lights. Everyone gathers in a circle, lit only by a single black candle. The wick should be trimmed to give the smallest of flames. Each person has an unlit white candle. When everyone is ready, someone says, "This is the festival of Imbolc, and the first signs of returning life tell us that spring is on its way. Let us light the path for the new season and say farewell to the old, blessed be." They light their white candle from the black one, state something they wish for in the coming season, and extinguish the black candle, going around the group deasil. Each person states their own hopes and lights their candle from that of the person next to them. "Come on, should be open." When all the candles are lit, everyone says together, "Hang on, I'll be there in a minute." We welcome the goddess as maiden. We welcome the signs of new life. We welcome the coming spring. Blessed be. The candles can be placed somewhere safe to burn whilst everyone enjoys a feast, or if this is not a family celebration, they may be extinguished and taken home to bring spring into everyone's homes. When you know you can't win, consider another game. I gotta go see who's at the door. Come in. Hold on. Oh, I guess it's not open. I thought it was. Sorry about that. Oh, thank you, dear. Oh, I'm sorry, hon. I thought it was unlocked. Thanks. Yay, another package. Ooh. That's why I had to hurry up and rattle off what I was doing so I could answer the door. Ah, I know what this is. Yay. This is my new bottle of blood pressure support. Quinol, beets plus CoQ10, and grapeseed. You get 60 tablets. So if you do it right, you got enough for 2 months supply in one of these bottles. And since I already have a bottle that's open, I put the new one behind the one that's open so that when the one that's open is done, then I can just grab the new one and start all over again. You can take 2 of these a day. They're in caplet form, so they're real easy to take. You know, just get you a nice mouthful of liquid and swallow it down. Excuse me. I'm very gassy today for some reason. Must be my burrito coming up. I think this is the last book. Yep, this is the last. Okay. Goddess of the day. Can't wait to see who it is this time. February. Bridget. Themes. Health and inspiration. Symbol. A cauldron. About Bridget. Bridget is an Irish goddess known throughout Europe as the Bright One because of her inspiring beauty and fiery qualities. Today is Bridget's festival in Ireland because it's the traditional first day of spring here, when lingering winter shadows are banished by the sun's radiance. Anyone desiring fertility, health, or creativity should invoke Bridget's blessings today, as the ancients did. So hail and welcome, Bridget. And yes, please come and increase my health to the better, help me with the weight loss. Let these Mitolin pills that I'm waiting on be the thing that finally works and starts burning off this fat. And my creativity, help me bring it out in different ways that I find fulfilling, satisfying, and fun that I haven't already done. To do today, during the winter months, it's easy to get a case of the blahs or sniffles. Bridget comes to our aid by offering us the spiritual elixir in her cauldron. Make yourself a nourishing broth today, like chicken bouillon, and serve it in a cauldron, a 3-legged bowl. If you don't have one, any cup or mug would do. Bless the broth by holding your hand over the top, visualizing golden light filling the liquid, and say, Bridget, hear my prayer and bless the cauldron or cup of inventiveness. Renew my body, inspire my heart. Throughout my life, your wholeness impart, so be it. Drink the broth to internalize inspiration. For health, take any candle, a green one is ideal for healing, and carve 19 crosses into it. The number 19 and the symbol of a cross are both sacred to Bridget. Light this candle for a few minutes every day for the next 19 days, or you can let the candle burn for 19 minutes instead. So very, very good. And this is just a little snippet that I normally don't do, but I figure why not? The month of February, which is the very first page before the goddess of the day. February gets its name from the word februare, Februare. Never seen that spelling before, meaning to purify. This is likely due to the fact that February was the traditional month of cleansing in Rome. When people repented of holiday excesses, the official day for focusing on purification is February 15th. I suspect the ancient cure for hangovers, onion juice, saw a lot of use this day. This cleansing theme also explains the prevalence of water-themed celebrations during this month, along with festivals for the dead. By now, the hectic pace of the holidays has begun to settle down, and life returns to some semblance of normalcy. Nonetheless, the need for the goddess does not go away during day-to-day activities. If anything, making life an act of worship means including her in even the simplest of things. In terms of energy, any magic focused on growth, well-being, purification, cleansing, or initiation is suited to this month's aspects. So there you go. And that, my friends, is my dailies. Each time I do a live stream on here, this is a daily lineup of cards and books where I read. Just like I did. Because that way, especially for any of you newest subs of mine, hail and welcome, Bridget. Be with me today and bless me in every way that you can and will. For instance, if my mom could let me treat today as a work day so that she will give me at least $20, then that'll be a little bit more in my pocket. So I'm, got some pocket money. Because I still have to pay rent. I still have to get cash items. I'm just doing my deodorant because this is a gel. It's secret and it's lavender scented. So I figure why not? As soon as I get one of these made, my newest resin mold, I will definitely put it on here, and I will pick some colors that are well defined that you can see really well. Because the only way I can do multiple colors is it would take several days. For instance, like if I want to take this and fill it half with one color and half with another, I would have to wait until the first half solidified and then put the other half on top of it and let it solidify. And then after a couple of days, it all should meld together and blend together so that it sticks together and it don't like fall apart in two sections to where then I have to glue it together. But yeah, it's really interesting that this is the type of candle holder that it is because it has the flat spot on top. That's where you put the candle. And what I will probably do is I will use one of my little tea light shells, and I will take the tacky wax. I will put it on whatever candle, and then I will put some of the tacky wax on the top of the candle holder to hold the little tea light shell in place. Then I'll take tacky wax, put it on the bottom of the candle, and stick it in the tea light holder. And that way, when it gets down to where there's maybe about that much left, blow it out, pluck it off of there, or if you can pluck it, take it off of there and burn it down safely some other way, because I don't want to start melting a hole in the top of this, because then it's just, to me, it's going to look crappy. And I don't want to do that. So if these things, once I get one done and they turn out really nice, see the snake, because it's literally wrapped around this entire thing. Like he's in the bottom and he kind of goes up like a spiral, and there's his little head. So if I do half and half, then from about the nose down will be one color and about the nose up will be another color. But because I only have limited mica colors and oils, you know, if I want to do something like a black and a red, or if I want to get real creative and I want to use, that would be overkill. A couple of drops from each color of the oil and a little, you know, a decent little scoop of the powder, mix them together and everything, pour it in the mold, have at it, let it sit for a couple days, usually about 2 or 3 days. I try to leave it alone to give it plenty of time to solidify. And my little sphere mold that I have, because the mold is not put together right, I have to do that in 2 halves. Like I have to literally do the mold like this, do one half in this one half in this one. When they're completely set up and solidified, then take the 2 flat ends and glue them as properly together as I can without misaligning them, because then it's not gonna be perfectly round like it's supposed to be, perfectly spherical. So that's going to be tricky, is getting it even on all sides so it's smooth all the way around it. And then what I will probably do as an extra measure is I will glue the 2 pieces together, but because there's going to be a seam, then I might just take trying to think of something I could put around it to cover the seam without compromising the sphere. So I'll have to cross that bridge when I come to it. Because first and foremost, I don't have any of my resin stuff up here. I don't have any of the resin that you mix together. I don't have any of the cups. I may have to get me a resin kit again through Amazon, even if it is just a couple bottles of resin. Because you get 2. You get the A and the B. You mix them first separately in 2 separate containers. Then you mix them together. I don't know why they do it that way, but you know, you got to mix it for a good few seconds And usually you'll see me change hands several times because my carpal tunnel gives me problems. So I'll stir it really, really super good. Then I'll put the colors in it. I'll put the mica powder and I'll put the oils in it, any glitter, any herbs, any, crystal bits or anything just to make the piece more unique looking. Or I could always just do the very first one. I could do it completely clear. And then somebody, if they wanted, they could, and they had enough of a skilled hand, they could take a paintbrush and they could paint it the color they want. They could color the snake whatever color they want. They could color the skull whatever color they want. So, But if I'm going to do a clear one, I would rather have the crystal bits and the herbs inside of it that will literally become part of the mold. And the drawback of doing that is what you have to do is whatever herbs you're going to put in it, you got to mix them in with the resin. Whatever crystal bits, drop those in. I usually drop those in as, I fill it to the top to where this is completely flush but not overflowing, because I hate losing any resin, because resin is, it's not like super expensive, but it's not like, it doesn't mean I want to start wasting a bunch of it either. But to kind of recap and conclude on the matter of all the things that have happened since the last time I did a live stream on here, is, for those of you that don't know, especially Vicki Weber, for instance. Can't remember your current last name because I think it's Vicki Howard, if I remember right, because you did get married. And you're a dear Capricorn sister of mine, and we go all the way back to our teens. A lot of fun we had together. I'm sure Angie's spirit is with me. I certainly hope she is. And Angie, if you are here, sweetie, and you want to get my attention sometime, just a good way to do that is to suddenly pop yourself into my head and make me rethink or re-talk about one of the fun times that you, me, and Vicki had together. And then with that little ding, 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 do you get it? I'm here. Hi, how you doing? Sometimes it's difficult to get through to me. Ask any of my spirits that are around you right now. They're like, yeah, but then when they give you kind of like a recap of everything that's happened, that maybe some things you've missed for some reason, not intentionally, but just things happen. We lose touch. I'm sorry that by the time I finally got a hold of Vicki again, I found out that you had passed, Angie. Miss you greatly, sweetheart. I hope you had a good, fulfilling life, full of happiness and joy and all manner of good things. You're welcome here anytime. You're welcome to be part of my spirit family. It's totally up to you. You can come and go as you please. I don't ever want any of my spirits to feel trapped or like they're forced to be here, because ask any of them. They're not being forced to be here. They're here because they want to be here. And that's good enough for me. So even though things didn't work out the way I was hoping they would with having Noah home, or Rupert, which I've even started calling him Rupert Noah. The first name that I gave him, Rupert, and the second first name that he was given by Corey, who adopted him, which was Noah. N-O-A-H, as in Noah from the Bible. And I'm still thankful and grateful and appreciative for the time that we did have, because I would rather have had any amount of time than none at all. So by the time he got here, the last time I recalled seeing him and he recalled seeing me was 2012. That was like 13 years ago. He's 19 now. And even though he's 19 in body, he's 12 in mind. And that's unfortunate, because he needs to grow up. He needs to step up, be a man, start taking on some responsibility, start making some positive commitments, get him a good solid job, keep that job, keep it going, show up every day on time, don't give any bullshit excuses, don't work for a couple of days and then take a week off because nobody's going to keep you hired. That, if you're going to do that, they're going to fire you. Hey, Squeak. Meow. What I learned from it, and this is the positive I want to take away to balance out the energy of the not so great stuff that happened. I don't blame any one of us, really. I don't blame Noah. I don't blame myself. I don't blame Chris. It was a dire situation. I feared for my son's life and his safety. So I took a chance. I let him in, and things just didn't work. But I have learned that I am not equipped yet to be any kind of a decent mother to an autistic ADHD child with behavioral issues and anger issues like he has. Anger and rage issues run in our family. It runs in our bloodline. We cannot escape it. We have to learn to manage it, to control it. Don't let it control us and become a hothead that's, clocking off every chance they get and starting fights and just all kinds of crap. Noah, he gets triggered very easily. And I found out I had some triggers that I didn't even really fully realize I had until they happened. And that was, I do not like when my kids, no matter which one of them it is playing video games on the main TV in the living room, so much to the point that I can't watch my shows. I can't watch a movie if I want. I mean, sure, I could be like, hey, get off the game. I want to use the TV. But sometimes that can cause conflict. I would rather avoid that altogether by forbidding them to use the front room TV for anything even remotely game playing like that. But that doesn't mean that they couldn't save back some money of their own towards getting their own flat screen. Then they can put that in their room, keep the volume down, okay? Make sure the door is shut. And you can always put a sign up on the outside of the door saying, do not disturb gaming. And then when you're not gaming, you can turn the sign over and say open or something like that, socially available or whatever. When one of my kids is here and they play video games, it triggers me because there's been a lot of bad experiences and incidents that have happened in my past and my children that were involved with video games. So because of that, I found out that it was a trigger for me. So while Noah was here, one of the things that I did that I didn't mean to do, and I wasn't trying to be mean when I did it, I unplugged his PlayStation one day because he had PlayStation 4. And I hid it somewhere here in the front room. And where I hid it, I made sure I was very gentle with it. I didn't just throw it down somewhere, breaking it all to hell. That was not the goal here. The goal was, do I have your attention now? Because when you have a gamer and you take away their games and you take away their machine that allows them to play the games, you'll get their attention. Noah handled it well. He said, I see that you've unplugged my PlayStation. I said, yes. I said, because I found out that playing video games, I do not allow in my house on the main TV when it's one of my kids playing it, because there's too many past experiences to do with video games that have turned me against them to the point that I don't even play video games usually. I play my Avakin. That's about it. And sometimes my IMVU. So what I learned was from all this that I was not ready as a mother to have a autistic ADHD child in here with the sloppy habits that Noah has. Now, again, son, I'm not saying that to be mean or hurtful, but you live like a slob. Corey showed Chris a picture of your bedroom, and it looked like the city dump. Okay, that's not good, son. That's not good, and it's not healthy. Those are some of the bad habits you need to break yourself out of. Don't expect someone else to do it for you. You have to do it. You have to commit to it. I know things are tough right now living with your brother. I totally get that. I do. But it's all you've got. Make it work. Find a way. Don't be afraid to sit down with Ted and say, look, brother, I love being here, but this, and this has got to stop because it's causing conflict between us. I have nowhere else to go. Can you please try to do these things or not to do these things that I humbly come before you and ask in no conflictory way? Please stop these habits of yours because it's upsetting me, it's triggering me, and it makes me want to leave and I have nowhere to go. So can you please stop? Like one night, a couple nights ago, I was on a live stream and on TikTok, and Noah came on and he was very tired. He fell asleep on the phone. I ended up talking to his brother, Ted, who that's the one he lives with. So I ended up talking to Ted more than I did Noah that time because Noah literally fell asleep. But some of the plus side of things now is it inspired and encouraged me to get books on autism and ADHD. Got them from the library, so it's less money that I'm spending right now. This is the one I'm currently working on. It's supposed to be about women that have autism. This is the author right here. I don't know how well you can see her, but her name is Janina Masheke, Maschke. She's an experienced ADHD woman herself, and she lives with this and struggles with it every day. But on a good note, I highly recommend one of these books, The 100 Envelope Savings Challenge. Now, you won't get the cool sticker on there that I put on myself from my little pack of stickers I got from Temu. But this is the purple color. And as you can see, it has prism colors in it, which I love. It has 3 different cards that you can do right now. The easiest one is the 30-day challenge. But here's the trick. When you have a situation like I do, and you live in a situation like I do, you can't put money in every single day. Put it in and don't worry about that. It's going to, obviously, in that sense, it's going to take more than 30 days. But when you get that last payment in, which would be $31, you will have $500 cash. Okay. Now, they also have other cards, other challenges. There's one in here for $5,050. So you have to go through and you have to put a certain amount in every day. You do that for 100 days and you have $5,050. And then the last one, if you do it in 52 weeks, you will have $10,400. Now, this one, you do it by week, okay? Week 1, you put $200 in. Week 2, you put $200 in. Week 3, $200. Week 4, $200. And you do $200 all 52 weeks. Each week, or if you do it by month, that would be 2, 4, 6. That would be $800. But I mean, let's face it, how many of us can just put $800 in there right away? Not very practical, right? But if you can, don't, it's supposed to be 52 weeks, but don't let that stop you. Like if you want to put in $200 a month, okay, it's going to take you longer, but it will still, at least for me, it will be fun to see, 1, how long it does take me to fill it. And 2, once I do, and I've got $10,400, I'm going to be like, wow, look what I did. So that one is the hardest of the 3. The 30-day challenge is the simplest of the 3. And even if I can do the 30-day challenge over and over and over again, then that'll be $500 each time. And that's only a month. It only takes a month to do it. Like the first 5 days, and it shows you this on the card. It has the days numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 5 days, you put $5 only in each pocket. Day 6, you put in $7. Day 7, you put in 8. Day 8, you put in 9. Day 9, you put in 10. Day 10, you put in 11, and on down the line to where when you get to number 30, which is your 30 days, and you put the $31 in there, then you've got your $500. Okay. So because this is my first one of these, I'm taking my time with it. I'm not rushing. I'll get it done when I get it done. And when I do get it filled, then I will probably on the back of the card. Yep. I will write down completed first 30-day challenge, and I'll put the date. And then just do it that way, which you're still doing it. But the 30-day challenge by far of the 3 seems like the easiest one to do. And you can do it on a repeat basis. So basically each day you're adding another $1 kind of thing. Okay. All the way up to the 30-day mark. And then once you do the 30th, the last day, then you should have $31. So that would be a 20, a 10, and a 1. Just 3 simple bills. And then you'll have your 500. All your pockets will be filled and you'll have 500 cash. I mean, that book was only $9.99. And with taxes and everything, it came out to like $10.74. So even with shipping and handling, it's not that big of a deal. They do have a couple different colors. They have the black, which I got for a friend of mine. They have the purple, which I got for myself. And I think might have like a blue one or something. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've looked. But so there's like a couple different colors. And I look at it this way. If you don't like any of the colors, you can always like pick a black one, for instance, and then just get your own book cover to put on it. And then that way you can put on whatever color you want. It's like, why not, right? Okay. It's 5 afternoon. I am going to conclude this live. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for my subs. I hope I have more of you each day, but I'm still not seeing any comments. I don't know why. I don't know when I'm going to finally be able to take the time to go into my studio and see if there's like some other way to like bring up comments from people and stuff so I can see if anybody's made any comments or bring up different videos and different live streams I've done and just read below that live stream, below the little screen, read any messages that people leave. Because the main thing that I'm worried about right now is if there are some people that want some of the diamond paintings that I have available that are for sale, let me know on here. You'll have to give me your name and address information. You'll have to tell me the number of the painting you want because I have each painting numbered. And the small ones are $10, the big ones are $20, but I have to charge extra for shipping and handling because I don't even have enough to ship and handle it myself right now, or I would. Now, when I start building my income up a little bit better, and if people start buying them along with the resin pieces, for instance, then that will help build up an extra income for me that then I can ship it to you, whoever, and not have to worry about charging extra because then I can just charge $10 for the small ones, $20 for the big. Well, at least that's the 2 sizes that I have right now. That doesn't mean that at some point in the future, I might decide to get a really big one, but let's face it, that one's going to take a while. So it's like, how am I going to do this exactly? So I would have to have a big enough surface area for one to be able to put it on and be able to do it consistently a little bit each day. So right now, I'm just very limited as far as what I do have available. And until I can get enough of them sold, I'm not going to have any other money that I can even remotely invest in keeping this business going and watching it flourish and grow. And since I'm going to be getting paid cash, I will also have to make sure that SSI don't find out about it, or that I spend the money accordingly so SSI can't complain and say, oh, we're going to take your money now because you took on a entrepreneur style making your own money, and we want our cut, or we're just going to take your check altogether. And I've already been through having my check cut into and being punished and penalized for 6 months, and they would take out $20 from my check each month, no matter how much my check was. So say I got a check for $30, I would get 10 of that, and I was busting my ass at that costume shop because I really loved it. And it don't even exist anymore. They've moved it to somewhere else. I haven't seen it in years. It used to be down here at Town and Country. It isn't anymore. But, I've got to find a way to make this extra money so I can afford to live. Because especially if Demon Trump, now that stupid SOB is back in office again, he's going to spend the next 4 years destroying the earth a little more. I've heard rumors about him taking away everyone's SSI, taking away everyone's food stamps, and, casting people out on the street unless they get out there and get off their lazy asses and work a job, which a lot of us are handicapped and can't do, and he's just going to take it all away. I mean, what the hell kind of president is that? That is not a president. That's an egoist. That's an egotistical SOB, narcissistic POS that does not deserve to be in office. So no Trump supporters here, okay? I hate to say that, because if that means that I lose some friendships over it, well, oh well, because I will not do discussion about Demon Trump on any of my lives. And if you do hear me talk about him, it's going to be in a negative sense. It's not going to be anything positive, because all I can think of is how badly is he going to fuck up the world this time, and how many people are going to pay the price for his fuck ups, and how he destroys it. And cost of living's gone up. Cost of groceries have gone up. They took Chris's food stamps and wouldn't load them this time. We don't know why. I've got a redetermination thing coming up myself that I got to make sure I get my damn paperwork done so that I get it in there in time. Because what me and Chris usually do is he'll fax the paperwork to them and demand a response, so they can't say they didn't get it. Okay. So he faxes everything over to the office, and he waits, and he tells them, I want a response immediately. When you get this, I want a response proving that you did get it. So you can't make it disappear on the bottom of the pile because you're a black person that's against white people, and you just want to be a bitch, or you want to be an asshole, because you don't like us whites because we're so prejudiced and discriminative against you. Well, you guys do the same thing to us a lot of times. So knock it off. Okay. The world's messed up enough already. We don't need this conflict adding to it. Everybody really needs to just learn to get along. And I'll be happy the day that I ever see that happening, but I don't have a whole lot of hope, faith, or positivity or optimism that it ever will. Because people need to learn to let shit go. They need to learn to get along and to stop judging where we have no right to judge others unless we ourselves are judged. Now, when your time comes and you go to the good place, do you really want that shoved in your face of, let me take you over here to the theater and let you watch a whole life review of all the times you messed up, all the times you made the bad choices, the worst decisions, what it got you into. Some of it you got out of, some of it still lingers to this day. Okay? I am not against anybody, and I ask the same in return. Don't be against me because I'm white, because I'm Wiccan, because I'm a witch, or whatever. You just don't like my face. Well, then don't come to my lives, because I'm not here to look pretty for you and look like some goddess, that I'm not. because you're having a lousy day and you want something to daydream about. No, thank you. You're not going to get that here. Sorry. Move along. Move along. Blessed be to my positive guys, though. And I will see you next live. Have a good day. Have a good night. Be kind to yourselves and be kind to others.